Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I am the Crypto Crow. Today, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin dump, the altcoin dump, and what it means. Now, we're going to dive right into it because there's not a whole lot else I want to talk about today. My most recent video, I talked about this coming, and I tried to alert everybody. And of course, in the chat, people were trolling me. Oh, you said this, the price is going up. The price is going up. You're wrong. You're wrong. Everybody's so quick to judge. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. This is the video where I basically said Cardano wins Bitcoin to 78,000. And this is basically where I did this video. I was basically showing the CME futures gap and that we could be ready for potentially a 20% dump, a correction, if you will. And the price at the time was right around 96,815. And the thing that you guys have to understand when I cover a lot of this stuff, I could be off by a day or two. I could be off by a week even sometimes, but the overall sentiment is there that things are lining up for this kind of thing to potentially happen. I'm always right sometimes. I don't get it all to the day, to the hour, to the minute. That's just not what I do. I'm not a snipe trader where I'm like looking on a 1 minute chart trying to figure out what's going to happen the next minute. Who has the time for that? But anyway, this is what I was doing. And then of course in the comments, people are basically correcting me. Oh, the price went up, dude. You're wrong. The price went up. The price is up to 100,000. You're so wrong. Okay, cool. Congratulations. You guys got me. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, if we look at what's happening, the price is Bitcoin's dominance is now actually rising a little bit. We're currently at around 57.86% dominance from a local low of 54.45%, 54%. Now, this is where we're at currently. Oh my gosh, a big dump, a big correction. Oh my God, I was so wrong. Well, obviously, I didn't know that the price was going to jack up all the way to around $105,000. Wowzers. Okay. Now, does this CME futures gap get filled from here? Who knows? I did make a misspeak in that video where I basically explained like all these CME futures gaps get filled. No, it's typically about 80% of them. And at some point in the future, this is probably going to get filled, but it could be 6 months from now. But typically, as I was showing in that video, a correction of 20 to 30% is pretty common in a bull run. Right now, after the price from that video went from 96,000 all the way up to about $105,000, then we started getting our correction. Now we're down 10%. Okay. Do we go further? Do we get a 20% correction? If we do, that 20% would take us to right about 84,000. Let's just call it 85,000. And so we have to kind of ask ourselves, well, what would take the price to that point? Well, the liquidation heat maps, looking at, basically where all of the liquidity is sitting, a lot of that is sitting back up here around basically above $100,000. There's not much happening. This is on a 2-week liquidation map. We could go to a 1 month, and this is on Binance. On 1 month, we're seeing some opportunity here. You can see this price action came all the way down to, here we are at man, there's just not a lot. There's a lot of scattered activity. There's definitely a lot of money sitting down here. We could get a power wick down to chop through it and just mass liquidate all of these people into the 80,000s. But something tells me it's likely that this just sits here. I see a lot of the concentration, especially on the short term, happening above 100,000. So, what comes next? Where are we going? Well, anything could happen, but the right here at, it looks like 98,800. That's where, there's $110 million sitting here ready to be liquidated. And you can see 66 million at 98.43. I mean, you can see this. This is just if this price were to just rally from here, there'd be such a mass liquidation just sitting there waiting all the way up to 102,000 again. So the point is that the price could go either way. Effectively, it's the market makers making these decisions on what they think is going to be the easiest way to move the market. So when you're looking at this price, yes, I was off by a day. Are we going to get the full CME futures gap fill? Who knows? The thing of it is everything has been happening so quickly up to this point that it's very likely that we could get this. We could fill the CME futures gap. And then maybe we get a significant rally into Christmas. But honestly, if we look at Christmas, heading into the new year, there could very well be a lot of people selling for no other reason than tax purposes, where we're basically ending a tax cycle, heading into 2025. People are selling at these price points at $100,000 to basically get ready to buy back in at new, local lows. So this isn't unheard of, folks. This isn't anything new. Could we get all the way down to basically $78,000 range? We could. And maybe we just don't have a Christmas. We got our Christmas here at $100,000. And it is what it is. And then we start moving forward into January, and then we get the inauguration, and we have all of that stuff happening. And boom, we're off to the races. It's starting the new tax year. Hopefully a tax year with the potential for there not being any capital gains tax if Trump if Trump happens to be able to pull off what he says he might do. All these ideas talking about basically replacing taxes with tariffs and basically doing to these other countries what they've been doing to us for so long. So we'll see. Now, looking at Cardano's price, we basically got all the way back up. We wicked all on Binance. I didn't even notice this at the time, but we wicked all the way up to the 2017 high, $1.33. For those of you that have been following me all these years, this was the peak price of Cardano in 2017. And so we hit that price point with a big fat wick, but then we got that price reversal. And now since that wick, we're down 31%. This is very, very common. Before this happened, I told all my close friends, we're going to get a big correction. Don't freak out. The market's not over. It's okay. Just relax, right? I told everybody that this was coming. And sure enough, there it is. So if we're looking at this chart, which is the weekly chart, you can see I like to monitor the pi cycle indicator, and look, it's looking good. I mean, it's narrowing a little bit, but I'm honestly expecting this to establish a little bit of a wider berth. But if this were in fact, this is my long prediction. Basically, I set this prediction for March of 2025. I did this a while ago in an old video. But this is basically what we could potentially be looking at. January, February, March. We might peak out unless we have another 2-peak cycle. We could potentially peak out with a big parabolic run over the next 3 months, and boom, we're done. And I know this is totally against what everyone else out there is saying. That's okay. I do my own thing. I have looked at these numbers in so many different ways, and that's just what I think is possible. Especially when you look at the pi cycle really starting to close in. If we were to be realistic about this, let's play with this a little bit. What if we were to keep these trajectories? What would that mean? When would this actually close? If we were to go, so we could potentially close here. This looks like May. So maybe this gets moved over a little bit. That is if the pi cycle were to continue its current trajectory, okay? And I know that looks a little bit rough, but basically sometime around May, maybe. Anything within this window is possible. So that's all I care about. I don't care about this little local dip, this little local market correction here. I'm not worried about that, folks. That's okay. So, and in the grand scheme of things, I think everything is good. I mean, we need these pullbacks because these pullbacks kind of reset the oscillators a little bit. It resets a lot of these lagging indicators, gives a wider breadth for things to kind of start over. And it's an ebb and flow like an ocean hitting the shore. These tidal waves come in, they recede, they go back out, and they bring more and it comes back in. That's just how the market's worked forever. And it's okay. So yeah, other than that, I mean, I feel very confident and very comfortable. You know, Cardano's currently trading at 92 cents. That's just fine. I honestly do think that there is a potential if Bitcoin does not fill the CME futures gap, and we could potentially get a reversal here, maybe tomorrow. Where are we at today? Today's Tuesday. Wednesday's typically a day for trend reversal. You know, we'll see what happens, but maybe we get a reversal and we start heading back up above 100,000, and we have a very Merry Christmas at 125, 130,000, new all-time high. FOMO, people breaking in, you know, they've already basically cashed out, dropped the price, bought back in at a lower point. They've got their tax money sitting there ready to go for the year. You know, this is all a thing, man. I mean, you got to pay your taxes, right? If there are anything that you can always count on is death and taxes, right? So that's where I think we're at, and I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. I've been working on some other newbie videos, some newcomer videos. I've got a partnership actually coming. It's in the works right now with I Trust Capital. We haven't concluded it yet, but I'm just kind of letting everybody know that I'm diving into that. I'm probably going to be doing a video about that soon. I've got another partner that I'm establishing right now that you know, they're ready. So I'm going to be covering them very soon. So just a lot of stuff going on. And yeah, you know, I'm pretty good. I'm happy. So I'm going to hit the ground running here as we head into 2025. There's a lot of cool stuff happening. So until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.